Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
You are listening to the financialsurvivalnetwork.com. I'm Kerry Lutz on 1230 WBZT, and I can't help laughing, but I've got the greatest person on the line with me, Debbie Hardy. I feel like I've known this person for so long. We've been on parallel tracks in our lives. We've gone through similar experiences. Debbie's gone through corporate America. She's reinvented herself almost as many times as I have done for myself. And she's going to tell you how to do it, because if you've ever had to reinvent yourself in your life before, you probably need to do it now more than ever. Debbie, welcome to the Financial Survival Network. It's so great to have you on here.
Thank you, Kerry. It's great to be here. I appreciate it.
So, Debbie, reinventing yourself, it is really a fearful exercise, but now, with things changing as fast as they are in corporate America, you really need those skills more than ever, don't you?
Yes, you do. And the number one skill is adaptability. If you find yourself, your situation in corporate America changes. I know the corporation that I worked for many, many years kept right-sizing and downsizing and basically, laying people off and firing people. And all of a sudden, these people would find themselves with nothing, and they had to adapt to the new opportunities that they had. They had to see what opportunities there were and adapt their lives to what they wanted to do. Some of them just kept trying to get back into corporate America, but others discovered how to make a different life for themselves.
Hey, Debbie, when you mention that, right-sizing, downsizing, it's basically screw-sizing you. And it reminds me of that movie with George Clooney, Up in the Air, which I thought was an incredible movie. He's not my favorite person, but I think he has a lot of merit as an actor, and he really captured that thing where he's going all over the country firing people because these companies are laying you off, they're getting rid of you, not that you're not a great person, not that you weren't a valuable employee, and the answer lies in this booklet that they give you. And there's people who are angry, they're sad, they're despondent. What am I going to do? I'm 50 years old. Who is going to hire me? And what do you tell that person, Debbie? Because you're kind of getting what's left over of that person after the right-sizer has right-sized them out the door.
My number one mantra, what I keep telling myself is, life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. Life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. Like you said, I was in corporate America for almost 40 years of my life. I was taught at an early age to be submissive and to follow the rules, so I was a perfect fit to be sitting in an office for all of those years, taking home a paycheck. And then my husband was diagnosed with cancer. And after just a few short months, I had been his caregiver. After a few short months, he passed away. And I wanted to write about it because I had learned so much about it. I wanted to write, but I was working at a job that expected me to be there 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and you can't do anything else when that's all that you do. So I took a leap of faith, and I retired from my job, actually walked away from that paycheck, which was somewhat painful, but I reinvented myself as an author and a speaker. And my first book was published 2 years ago. It's called Stepping Through Cancer, a guide for the journey. It's actually a guide for cancer caregivers so they know what to expect and how to handle it, so it's not a surprise like it was when Brian and I were going through it. So I am now an author and a speaker, and I travel around teaching people how they can take control of their lives by the way they change, by the way they respond to things, by responding differently than they have for so many years.
Well, Debbie, not that many people who aren't close to me know this about me, but about 18 years ago, my wife got a similar diagnosis to your husband, and we fought the battle together for 3 years and ultimately suffered a similar fate my wife did to your husband. And at the same time, I had 3 kids, 3 young kids. My oldest at the time was 12 years old. And luckily I had my own business and didn't have to ask my boss for concessions and time off and all that. And I can only imagine what you must have gone through. And, there's nothing in life that really prepares you for that kind of change and really you're just so devastated, and you learn the value of one day at a time and just trying to get through the day till you kind of collapse in bed at night and just get through the day. And I know what you must have gone through, as few people do, but yet somehow there's a brighter day ahead. Somehow you get through it. And, the fact that you've taken that and you've really run with it, and then you actually gave up the security of the paycheck and sought a higher purpose. I really admire you for that.
Well, thank you. I didn't do it without a lot of preparation, though. I'm a planner. I might be submissive and learn to adapt. But I did sit down with my financial advisor to make sure that it was not something that I was just throwing away my life. So I was taken care of, for the most part, financially. I go out and speak. I'm an author. Like I said, I sell books. I am published in some anthologies and in some online magazines. And so I'm still working, but it's on my terms, and it's what I want to do, and it's what I'm passionate about. I'm not sitting at a desk doing something for somebody else, following their rules. In fact, when I first started, for the first couple of years that I was writing full-time, I would sit in my office at my desk, and the inspiration was just so hard coming. And I thought, this is just like I'm sitting back in my office downtown. I don't want to do this anymore. So now when I'm ready to work, I actually take my computer and I go and sit on the couch in the living room because that's what I can do, because I'm my own boss. So I changed my mindset, and it changes the way I write, and now I'm much more prolific. I can write a lot better, a lot faster, and things are going great. I'm loving my life.
Yeah, I would venture to say that your work is much more fulfilling than it ever was in the past, huh?
Oh, yes. I have people contact me, people that I don't know, people that I have never even been in the town that they're in, and they'll say, well, I heard you on the radio, or I read your book, or I read your blog, or whatever, and I love what you say, and this is how it changed my life. And I never got that at work. I never got a call from a customer saying, well, thank you for negotiating that discount for me, or for putting that clause in the contract that I wanted to have in there. They didn't care, but now I feel like my life makes a difference. Hey. And it's helping me, and it's helping others.
And there's another aspect of it that you're doing something, you're pursuing a passion that you never did before. And yeah, you were in the work world, and yes, you were successful, you were accomplishing things, but you weren't pursuing a part of yourself, this passion, and that makes all the difference. And that's the internet has freed up millions of people around the world to pursue their passions like never before. So, Van Gogh, Toulouse-Lautrec, Renoir, they could pursue their passions. Mozart, Beethoven, they could all pursue their passions. But you, the guy sitting at your desk in your house, you could never pursue your passion. You had to work as a faceless bureaucrat in a cubicle in some office building in some city, and you suffered an anonymous existence, and you felt like you were nobody.
And I discovered that when I change my attitude, I'm changing the inside of me. I am right now working on a book to teach people how to change the entire person. The book I have now, and I have an agent who is pitching it to publishers right now. The book is called Free to be Fabulous, from 40, 50, and beyond. 100 ways to look, act, and feel younger. I talk about areas of our lives in there that we can take control over. You can take control over how you look. The number one thing that people need to do, whether you're in corporate America or you're an entrepreneur or you're retired or you take care of your children or your grandchildren, the number one thing you can do is to increase your face value is to smile. So many people go around grouchy all the time. I took pictures at a family get-together once, and I was showing them to a member of the family, and she said, "Oh, my goodness, I'm scowling in every picture. Is that the way I look all the time?" And I had to tell her, "Yeah, that's the way you look. You need to remember to smile." So that, number one, changes your outlook. It gives you a positive outlook, so you can handle all the negative things that life throws at you. If you're positive on the inside, you can handle a lot of negatives on the outside.
And that is a great point, Debbie. We're going to talk more about that right after we hear from Audible. That is my favorite sponsor by far. I'm a big Audible fan, and we will be right back. Today's show is brought to you by PrepareWise. Rough weather's ahead, so it's time to prepare. Your leading source for emergency preparedness food. Go to preparewise.com and always use the code Lutz to get free shipping and a whole lot more. And we are back with Debbie Hardy, the queen of resilience. We're talking about the changes that you need to make in your life because, look, it's not the Middle Ages. This isn't the way it was 400 years ago, where every day of your life was pretty much the same as every day of your life. Things didn't change. Yeah, you had the harvest, you went into the fields, you planted, and then you reaped your harvest. But pretty much every day in between was exactly the same. So it rained, it snowed, but pretty much day in, day out, your life was the same. But now it's not. You change careers, you change jobs, you change spouses. Your kids are born, they grow up, they go to college, they have kids themselves. Man, your life is always changing. The technology's changing, your careers. I mean, Debbie, it's like you reinvented yourself this time. Do you think you'll be reinventing yourself again?
I don't know. I'm kind of happy with this me. I like who I've become today. But one thing that I learned that a lot of people around me have not learned is to keep learning. I have a lot of friends who, once they get out of high school, they never went to another class again. They quit learning. And so their brains kind of turn to mush. And so I decided that I'm going to learn all I can about everything I can for as long as I can. And so that's another thing you need to do when you're reinventing yourself is to learn all you can. That's where you could discover your passion. I had not a clue when I decided to write a book how to go about it, other than putting down words on a piece of paper. And I started writing 4 years ago. My husband passed away almost 5 years ago. So I've been writing for 4 years. I have been to 15 writers' conferences in 4 years because I know there's so much I need to learn. And I'm passionate about what I'm learning and what I'm doing. And there's always more that I can do, and I can always get better. So that's another thing that I insist that people at least try. Try to learn something new every day. Every day. Take a class. There's a lot of free online classes. You can do webinars, teleseminars. You can go to a class. But if you want passion in your life, learn all you can about it. Now, I can be passionate about strawberries, but until I learn to do something with it, to grow them, to plant them, to harvest them, to cook them, to eat them, my passion is useless. So if you have a passion, learn all you can about it and put it into practice.
Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I see it, people get through with college or grad school, and they say, oh, that's good. I'm done learning, finished. So you can just pretty much go get a job and that's it. Mm-hmm. Be successful, make money, get married, have kids, but you stop learning.
Right.
And in my opinion, if you stop learning, you start dying because you need to keep learning. It's crucial because that's how you stay young. The moment you stop learning, you really start to get old. And in my opinion, it's all over from that point. And, I'm not even going to try to guess your age, Debbie. You sound much younger than you actually are. That I'm convinced of. But really, it's key. So, Debbie, people are going to want to find out more about you. They're definitely going to want to pick up that book. Where do they go and where do they purchase the book? Where do they find out more about you?
Okay, my website is under construction. It is up, but it's not totally complete. So if you want to let me know your feedback on it, I'd appreciate that. It's Debbie Hardy, Debbie, D-E-B-B-I-E, Hardy, Hardy.com. That's my website. I also have a website for my book, which is steppingthroughcancer.com. And if you want to just email me directly, I can sign a copy of the book for you and send it to you. Information is on the website, and you can email me. The email on that website doesn't work anymore, so you can email me directly at BD for Brian and Debbie, bdhardy@msn.com.
All right, Debbie, your story is really inspiring, and I can really relate to it on so many levels. Wish you the best of luck, and looking forward to that next book coming out. Don't forget financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Go there, sign up for your free newsletter, and Debbie, best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, Kerry. It was great talking with you.
And you too. Talk to you again soon.
Thanks.
This show was brought to you by PrepareWise. They're the leading producer of certified GMO-free, chemical-free, organic emergency preparedness food. I buy all my emergency preparedness food there, and you should too. I like the 183-serving mega sample pack. It's an amazing value. It's $280. That's less than $2 per meal. Go to preparewise.com. That's preparewise.com and use the code LUTZ, LUTZ, to get free shipping and much more.
The Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.